Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Forward Air. You got me, Solomon, here. Look at this, we got dusty roads. We're over in Snohomish, Washington. We're at Del Fab, and you guys have guessed it. It is time to get this baby back on the road. I mean, we parked it here 4 or 5 weeks ago. It hasn't moved. Everything is still exactly like it was. But I've got a bunch of parts that showed up from Holly and Summit Racing, and we got a bunch of things we need to do to this to get it prepared and ready for this road trip that we're gonna be taking. It's like 1,500 miles to Phoenix. So it's a beautiful day here. We are getting ready to work on Kyle and Brian's trucks. Those are priority for today. But wanted to give you guys an intro. Dusty's looking good. The yard's looking great. And that's it. This video is about to be awesome, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so we've been running around all day just getting parts and different stuff, and I wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown on what Brian and Kyle have been doing, because we're not gonna be working on dusty roads for at least till tomorrow, because we need to finish up a little bit of stuff like that 77 and that 66, but let's start with this. Brian, tell us a little bit about what have you done? Because most people don't know, and if they do know, then they're probably standing in this room, so.
Well, as we know, we took it last year, the good guys, with a two-wheel drive, basically pure stock, and it was boring because it's pure stock and boring. And I definitely wanted to be a 4x without a doubt from the first day I saw the truck when I bought it. So, of course, disassemble it. I'm pretty picky and pretty old, so had to do it the way it would be if it was built brand new as a 4x. So even to the guys that are really good at breaking things down, I bet you they'll still not believe it's turned into a 4x from a two-wheel drive. So I'm really picky, and you'll see if anybody wants to scrutinize it, they'll figure that out.
Heck yeah.
But
and it's not like you're trying to pass it along as a factory one. You're going to tell everybody. Plus, everybody will know.
It's not for sale anyway.
Yeah.
So it don't matter. But
they're gonna bury you in that, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Or Kyle will end up with it for have another truck he can drive around when he ordered his other one, or just to change it up. He'll probably never get bored with his blue one. Definitely.
So what all's left to get it ready to drive? Because if you guys don't already know, I'm gonna be driving dusty roads. Kyle's driving his 66 and Brian's driving his 77. So we're gonna have a slick, a bump, and a dent crew cab all driving to Arizona on Tuesday, hopefully. So what's left on your truck in order to make it?
I'm still switching the tires. Those are just rollers for the moment, and wheels.
And these are the bad boys going on right here.
With the
lugs.
factory original powder coated white wheels that it had on it last year when I drove it as a two-wheel drive. We're going right back on it. And then I got to get the interior, which is laying here on the floor, put back in, because I had to take it out to lift the cab off to do my conversion. And I had the frame all powder coated and everything, so you know, it's kind of like pretty nice.
So literally just wheels, tires, interior, bolt the hood back on, and then detail.
Yeah, yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of played with the motor lightly because it only has 43,000 original miles on the whole truck, so I lightly played with the motor. People that know Fords well know they detuned the motors with the timing chain and retarded the cam and made them slower than they already were to start with, even though they suck gas like there's no tomorrow. So corrected that. A few minor modifications to the motor, and very minor. And other than that, I mean, it's just converted to a 4x Dana 60 in the front, and just got to get her put back together in its original glory, because the interior's all mint and stuff. Just got to put it back in.
Oh yeah, awesome. Well, I guess now we'll walk over. We'll see what Kyle's up to. Let's let him finish up under there, and I'll pick you guys back up in a second. Well, Kyle got out from underneath the truck, and now you can tell us a little bit about what all you have done.
So, everybody knows Blue. This is my Survivor 66 crew cab.
Yeah, we saw it 4 weeks ago. We drove in it. It was a two-wheel drive.
That's true, yeah, when we went and met up with Swenson. So as everybody knows, I bought this truck, I sold this truck, I bought this truck back. I always had big visions. It was really, really hard to actually cut this truck up. Talked about it all the time, and I finally came up with a plan that worked for me. I built an entirely new chassis. It has nothing to do with Blue's original frame.
I'm going to include the video or photos that I have last time I was here.
Yes, the chassis that was sitting here during assembly was actually this chassis, just the truck wasn't in here. So I got to build this other chassis, and everything's powder coated, nut and bolts changed, everything's gone through. Just really clean, period correct, because I started thinking, like, what if this truck was a 4x? How would it have looked? And I chose to go that route. So separated Blue's body, haven't drilled any holes in the conversion, haven't done anything to change from the Blue portion of the truck or take away from it. But the curveball was, I decided I was going to tow a camp trailer behind this to Good Guys to bring the family and make it a big deal. Wasn't going to leave it a 6-cylinder, and that didn't work. So I ended up doing a Gen 3 Coyote swap.
And you guys don't understand how many hours on the phone we had together and
fighting about, I should just Coyote swap it. Oh, we're not doing that. It's not original.
I don't have time. Like,
Yeah.
when did you actually decide you're going to put that in there?
29 days to the show. From the day we had to leave to the show,
Yeah.
so that's obviously next Tuesday, is when this motor came into the shop on the forklift.
Yeah. And you only decided like a day before that because you couldn't find the motor. Like I was looking, you were looking, everybody was looking.
It's crazy. I thought a Coyote swap was fairly easy to get your hands on, but it's not. And I wanted either Gen 2 or 3. I didn't want one. Gen 2 with the drop from Ford being able to buy them anymore, or the control pack made it tough. I reached out to Power by the Hour, just couldn't quite get what I wanted. The reason I chose a Coyote though is it's a good motor. They're tested, they work well, and there's so much aftermarket support for them that I knew that I had an effective chance of getting this in the truck and making it work. Obviously we're in the middle of a Godzilla, but with not a lot of support, it's like, what do I do? This isn't my ultimate motor for the truck, but nothing's cut in the truck to do it, so.
A lot of people that know you are probably curious, why is there not a GT500 motor in there?
Well, that's a really good story, but I don't think we have time for that at the moment. I'd love to fill you guys in on.
What's the short?
The short of it is I respect this truck too much to retrofit a really crazy conversion in the truck to look back in 5 years and go, why on earth did I do that? And there was too many coolers, too many electronics that made that setup work to be able to effectively get it in this truck and not cut this truck.
Okay.
And I decided, you know what? A blower on this will do the same thing. It'll work just fine, and that's kind of the route I'm going for now.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll get a blower.
26 days ago, 25 days ago.
Somewhere in there. It's all blurred at this point.
Once you got the motor, because you got lucky and found it locally.
I did. I got really lucky. I got a good mileage motor from a local wrecking yard where I just got to cruise over with my trailer and snag it.
So then what? What happened after that? Who'd you call? What'd you
Well,
get?
what I did before I went and bought it is I called around and figured out there's no such thing as a control pack or anything to really pull this off. So I reached out to Fat Finder Garage, which obviously is the mecca for this.
Jason.
And Jason's like, Kyle, I got you. I got a lot of components right here that'll help you through this. So once I talked with him, knew what I could get my hands on, I called back the wrecker and
How
said,
did he even
yep,
get you
we'll
a
take
harness?
the
No
motor.
one has one.
He reached in his little black hat, slid the rabbit to the side, and snuck this Gen 3 control pack out of there.
So this was in someone's truck.
I have no idea where it came from. But either way, it's in this truck now. He hooked me up with the radiator, he hooked me up with the headers, hooked me up with the motor mounts. This is a Fat Fender Garage care package right here entirely.
Now people know why you might want to shop there is because they actually have it.
Well, and he actually knows what fits and what
That's
goes
true.
together. So
Chassis-wise, what did you do to make the front 4x4?
it's actually a two-piece frame here. The back half is a slick crew frame, and the front half is a 75 F350 Highboy chassis. It's seamed behind the transfer case cross member. It's still divorced. It does have a Snow Fighter 60 in it. It's normal rear 60.
Can you talk about that little cap right there? Because
That's a four-wheel drive stainless steel 61 to 66 F350 hubcap is what that is.
new old stock.
Yeah, pulled them out of the boxes.
So that's how the rears look. Dude, this truck looks so good on those super lugs and 16s. Like,
It does. It really truly does. I never thought I was a super lug guy, but I'm just gonna say it. Keeping it classic sold me on these.
yeah.
He did. He really did it. But also Swenson's been all over it forever too, so it was cool. But I wanted it to look to an untrained eye, anybody that I encounter can just be like, holy cow, that's such a cool truck. And it kind of have like that old Power Wagon, that old crazy 4x look.
What is left?
Fuel tank and a little bit of plumbing associated with the fuel. We could do that. A little bit of cooling, finishing, a tiny bit more wiring, and then fluids, brakes, you know, bleeding, adjust the rears because it's drum. Just a really silly bucket list. The majority of it's put together at this point. Obviously a front bumper, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So this was really hard to do, but I did have my original fuel tank. So clean, and I'm like, why am I gonna buy a aftermarket tank that's gonna scratch up the cab when it goes in just to put this away with the frame and preserve it? So the original tank got cut. And I was gonna do a frame mounted fuel pump, and
that looks so good.
I got quickly talked out of that. So the best I could come up with was an pump in tank, and I was like, man, how am I gonna do this without butchering the tank? And we ended up just having to have an upper bung machine, take it all together, and make it work like it should.
Heck yeah. I mean, this is the best way to do it.
I mean, the best way to do it probably for everybody at Saint is take the stupid tank out of the cab because the truck's going to explode. I'm going to listen to it slosh.
That's exactly what I said. I said put it in the back of the frame.
And the whole 9 yards. But I've put a lot of miles on this truck, and it does not stink. It does not explode. It doesn't do any of that kind of stuff. And my bed floor is well used, but I really was like, how on earth am I going to get fuel in this tank without cutting a hole in the bed, without hiding it behind the taillight, without doing it in the wheel well, without doing something? And I'm like, I just can't do it.
And in 29 days.
Even 29 days set aside, I just was like, I don't want to cut the bed anywhere to have a fill neck. So I figured...
It is cool.
I figured if it just fills in the cab corner like it always did, and I drive around in a death trap that sloshes, whatever, I'm cool with it.
And then something that I know a lot of people are going to think is super cool about the whole truck is that everything else is still just OG. Like super duper OG.
It really, truly is. This was a 4-speed truck, like they all are. So
Not all. I've driven an automatic one.
Well, you're correct. Okay. There's a really rare exception. But this truck is very clean and original inside, and I didn't want to paint a steering column for the truck. So a really good buddy helped me out with that. That's an original paint, automatic, slick steering column that matched the original, which was really cool. And I was trying to figure out how to get this thing to shift, and it was kind of hard with the way the slick linkage comes out. So I actually got this column, I modified the base of it, and it's cable shift to the 10-speed right now, but works off the original shifter. So of course then from there I'm like, all right, I got that to work, I can't cut anything else. So instead of doing gauges, I actually put sending units in the motor for water temp and oil pressure to get the factory gauges to work. And since it's divorce transfer case, speedo cable comes up. It's a little bit of a modification on the head that attaches to the cluster, but it's doable. And then that stupid drive-by-wire pedal with the stupid stainless foot.
You have a light? Because I'm not going to be able to see it.
Oh, you're going to make me look for a light. Come on. What do you think this is?
Take your cell phone.
I know. So, there's a little bit of wiring needs finished, but there's my...
Where's your drive-by-wire? I don't see it.
There's my drive-by-wire.
It's...
Here,
let me see this light. All right. So, this is the OG pedal, and then up here is a little bit of magic.
It's running the drive-by-wire pedal backwards with the ratio figured out so it gets full range of motion. But I was able to bracket the pedal up behind the dash off of factory holes up there. And once again, you hop in the truck and you just see an old familiar throttle pedal instead of that stainless steel foot pad.
And I'm assuming you're gonna put your 4x4 shift lever where the stick shift was?
So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And at first I was so bummed because my original mat's got some little nicks and stuff here, but it's really clean. I'm like, it has the original crew cab rear mat, so if I put carpet in the front, that's silly. They don't make a low floor or a high floor smooth rubber mat for this truck. So I'm like, gosh, what do I do? The reproductions fit like crap. So I had no idea what I was gonna do. And then my dad over here the other day pulls Captain Hindsight on me, goes, why don't you just put your 4-wheel drive shifter in there? And I'm like, genius. So I won't have time before the show. I'm just gonna not have a 4-wheel drive shifter. I can reach underneath and yank it if we hit some snow or whatever, but yes, I'm gonna build a bracket on the top of the transmission. It'll be scooted way up, because actually, I have a crew cab that have 3 daughters. There's 5 of us that ride in this truck. And my daughters fight over sitting on the front seat. So we're always 3 wide when we drive this. So it'll actually be cool to have the shifter tucked up underneath the dash so that my daughter can fit with her feet. And to be truthful, the front axle's for looks. This truck is not gonna go in 4-wheel drive. This truck's not gonna be off-road.
I don't believe that.
It's just the look. So
I don't believe you.
I don't need the convenience of the shifter right where you can grab it. It'll be just fine if I got to lean a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't believe you. I think next winter I'm going to see some photos in the snow.
Oh, I'm sure we'll take it in the snow probably, but it's not.
It's not heavy off.
I'm not going to be out in the ranch, wrangling out in the mud or nothing like that. It's just keep my truck the same it always was, just a good old cruiser. So.
Well, we're gonna keep.
Yeah, we got a lot to
doing
finish.
Whatever it is.
We got these two to do. We got dusty roads. We got a lot of stuff to accomplish.
We have a whole bunch of stuff to do on that.
Yeah, we do.
So basically what we're trying to do right now, and I wasn't sure what the game plan was. So what we're basically trying to do right now is finish up both of these trucks, so that way we have time to just focus on dusty roads, because that's going to need majority of everybody's time. So
fortunately, Dusty Roads is a driver, so it's kind of just like a mechanical revamp on a couple assemblies. We got a pretty good plan. We got a good set of parts sitting here.
Just picked up all this stuff at Napa, so now we have
pizza, some sushi.
Yep, hoses, rubbers, wipers, all this different stuff, and then like I was telling them earlier, Holly sent out a bunch of stuff. We have that in boxes over there.
Yeah, we got some care packages.
All that stuff packed up, and then we'll do that. But we're not going to bring my truck in here till tomorrow. And now we're going to do whatever it is. So what are we going to do now?
Keep running down the list on this.
Okay, I'm saying what's physically next?
Get the fans wired, get the overflow hose on, get the radiator hoses hooked up, get the air box in. Hopefully assemble the fuel tank tonight so it's ready to go in the truck for fittings tomorrow. Just try to get the last big stuff buttoned up so that the list is small.
Awesome. All right.
But you know how that goes. Who knows what will actually get done.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get after it, and then I'm going to show you guys whenever I think I should. So see you then. Alright guys, so we just got 2 sets of the Dapper OE7 headlights, and Brian is putting a set on red over here, and we're going to show you how simple it really is. And then I'm going to be putting another set on Dusty Roads, and Kyle likes his OG headlights, so
my candles are going to be perfect.
Yeah, but here you go. We can show him how easy it is. We got a 60-year-old man over here, never did it before.
It's blind.
And he's blind.
All one plug ahead.
Won't really help, but you know.
Alright, so
Just plug it right in there.
yeah, I see that, but I gotta figure out where to put all these wires.
Yeah, so what I do is I push it through that hole in the middle.
Yeah, I don't want to scratch up nothing.
You gotta turn your headlights on.
Yeah, I gotta turn on all the headlights on my head. Oh, thank you. That definitely helps. That's why I need these headlights too, because the originals, they look like sort of just one grade up from a candle from the 20s. So this will really be an upgrade that's worthy. I just wish I could get these kind of headlights to install right behind my eyeballs, because then I'd actually feel better about life. Tuck all that back there.
And this is the top.
Make sure I put it in the right side up instead of upside down, because otherwise I'd have to roll it to drive it, and I still like this thing. Right? This reminds me of certain days when I go places and I see these people. Okay, so this is the fun part. Figuring out which way I took this off. Must have been that way. Putting it back on without dropping everything. Here we are.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard do you say that it was?
That was as easy as easy. Yeah. If you can't do that, you probably can't even get gas in your car, because you just don't got it. So if you can put gas in your car, you can definitely put that headlight in.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I love that, like, you don't notice right away that it's not anything.
That's one thing I really like about it. It's like, looks very period correct, but it's an update that's super important, I think. That's why I did it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. There's the original one.
It's a real subtle change to keep the classic looking classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's way cool.
Now we got the other side.
Yeah, this time we'll try not to lose anything. Takes me longer to drink a cup of coffee in the morning than to install them 2 headlights. So that's a great thing right there.
Awesome.
Now I'll store away these old ones in case some guy in 200 years wants to buy this truck that I'm not selling, and he can have them put it back in.
There you go. Were you able to unplug it for a second, just so I could see the differences? Thank you.
So I'm checking, we're making spacers to enlarge basically the diameter of this to fit the wheel correctly, to index the wheel off the lug studs. But we need to get some custom spacers made. The wheel's 1/4 of an inch thick, and we need to figure out how deep this is right here. And I'm not a machinist, so you know I gotta kind of do the fake a guess, but it looks to me like it's 200 thousandths deep. So we gotta add 200 thousandths to 250 thousandths for a total of 450 thousandths. Slip those in, bolt the wheels on, fits perfect.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're doing. So we're getting ready to put the carpet back in after the 4-wheel drive conversion, and I wanted to show the original floorboards with the original paint.
So we could all see what a rusty crapper it is, right?
This is pretty amazing. Yeah, exactly. Look at that.
So this is what your floors should look like, fellas.
If you either have a new truck or a really nice used one.
Well, it should always look like this. The thing is, if it doesn't look like this, you need to make it look like this.
Yeah, otherwise you have Fred Flintstone special for sure.
Well, with the price of fuel these days, that might not be a bad thing.
Heck
You got to
yeah.
get down the road somehow.
Yeah, you might have to put a rubber softener on your shoes so you get traction hauling ass in it. Yeah, yeah, things are getting tough.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I'm gonna cover that up with that perfect original carpet in a minute.
Hell yeah.
Back one's in. That's the original. Look at that one. Pure 100% original, not a repop.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Fits really good.
Yeah. OCC carpets honestly fit amazing. That company's absolutely my favorite. Have you ever used them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just, they got them as good as originals.
Yep.
Anybody else? Good luck. You better have some scissors, a sewing machine, and a lot of glue.
Just got these awesome super lugs right here in the back of the truck. Gonna mount them up on the factory wheels. Oh, that one's getting her ready to go. All right, guys, so it's time to drive Dusty into the shop. Let's see if she fires up. I don't see why not. I love how he just hopped right in this thing and has absolutely no problem getting it to drive, and I couldn't get it to get. All right. Now we gotta just move the Maverick, open the door, get the forklift out, and then pull her on it. So we'll see when we do that. You're clear of the door.
Good. I guess you're good.
All right, guys, so it's been a little bit of time, but we got the truck pulled in, and I just unboxed a lot of the stuff that I have here. So yesterday we went to Napa. We got all the belts, hoses, some other stuff. I got this awesome bug deflector on eBay because the truck used to have one, and it's got holes. And I don't like holes, so I'm gonna put a bug deflector back on it. And then we had our buddy Joe make us some custom spacers so we could put on some different wheels, which you'll see soon. I've got, just like Brian, a set of Dapper OE7s that we're gonna be putting on. We got this awesome Holley carburetor, and I just wanna say a big thank you to Holley. Holley really helped me out with a lot of stuff on this truck, which you're about to see. And thank you guys, I really appreciate that. So this is a 500 CFM Street Avenger. It's a really awesome looking car. We're gonna get that on there. Got new plug wires, fuel pump, bunch of different fittings and stuff. We got the radiator hoses, we got some vacuum hoses, we got a new coil, we got some fuel line, got a hat, and right now we are taking all this stuff out. We got Greg over here. Greg, say hello.
Hi.
Greg's helping out. Couldn't really do this without him because I'm not super mechanically inclined for this type of stuff. So what all you ripped out, or what's up?
So just going through the front wheel bearings, gonna repack them, reseal them up, and slap them in, be ready to go.
Hell yeah. And then Kyle's over here. He's working on his 66. You're doing fuel tank stuff?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this fuel pump hat into my OG tank right now.
Heck yeah. So he had this thing, we clear coated it after he clear coated after he buffed it, and then you had to make this longer.
Yeah, we had to do the stretch because the tank's deep. So we're setting it up, since this is like suitcase style, they call it vertically in the truck versus flat. This kit's universal, but it's meant for shorter tanks, so.
So we're not gonna do too much time lapsing. I'm just gonna kind of pick it up and put it down whenever I think necessary. So you guys enjoy us starting to do some stuff. Okay, so first thing I want to do, I'm going to install this bug deflector. Never installed one before, but should be fairly simple. So what's cool is this was NOS, so all the hardware and everything is still in here, and it's never been opened. Yeah, so I'm probably not gonna run this just because the way that I'm looking at it, I don't like how small. Look at this, it barely covers the.
What is this thing for? A Geo Metro?
That's what I'm saying.
What the hell is this thing off of?
I was thinking,
Yeah.
peanut gallery.
What does it say on eBay?
I didn't check. All right, well, I ordered not the right one.
Hey, you know what though? Put
So,
that on Instagram, it'll be
Going
going.
and getting returned. So I just put on all the new belts. So we got all 4 of them on, it's nice and tight. We pulled the carburetor off before, so right now we're gonna start changing out some of the hoses. All right, so we just replaced that rear vacuum line, put on the new gasket, and I think Greg is, yep, got that new one, huh?
Yeah, beautiful. Nice. Well,
And our light is out of battery. All right guys, so you just saw in fast mode, I did all the plug wires on here, and I was actually really intimidated by it. So I got these MSD do-it-yourselfers, and I've never did this before, but I watched a couple other videos and I felt really confident in doing it, and I was like, hey, worst things worse, they don't work, I go get another set. So now that I've finished that, I feel pretty confident in giving you guys a tutorial on how to do it. So I have a little bit of extra, and now I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do it. Here's the end. So we're gonna do 290s, and we're gonna do 2 different style ends. These are all the tools you need. Basically, you need a crimper. You don't really need one because Holly actually sends, or MSD sends a crimper, and you need some needle nose, and you need a knife. So I'm gonna set the camera up, and then I'm gonna show you how to do it. All right guys, so now I'm gonna show you how I learned how to do this. It's pretty simple. So I'm gonna take the wire. This is already cut. One of the ends is already have this little piece. So on this side, what you're gonna do is, MSD includes this nice little tool. You put this through right over here, like so. Grab your razor, open her up, put it down, put that on the edge, and then just spin it like so. Now it's all cut. All right, so now that you got all of that, you grab a little bit of dielectric grease, grease up right over here, and then stick it in there, and you can see it just goes through. You're gonna want a little bit to protrude, kind of like that. A wiper, get the rest of the grease off. You don't have to if you don't want to, it doesn't really matter too much. And then grab your I don't even know what this is called. So I've got 2 different styles. I'm gonna grab it. You gotta bend this over. So this has to go to the back. So the black has to go to the back part, just like this. Then grab this, give it a little squeeze just so that way now you can really line it up better. And then once you do that, what I do, squeeze that again. All right, and now that we have a nice, I guess, I don't know what to call it, but anyway, you put it into your crimper, just like so. And there you go. Crimper up. Now that looks great. You just pull that. And then boom. Now we got one side on. This would be the side that would go to the distributor. And then now we do the other side, basically the exact same thing. All right guys, so I'm gonna take a break from working under the hood and I'm gonna switch out the 7-inch headlights that are on the truck for some Dapper Lighting OE7s. And these are the exact same lights that Brian put on his truck earlier. So they're really simple. You can just plug them in right there. So right now, I'm gonna take this off, take off the retaining ring, swap it up, and enjoy seeing the time lapse. Forgot to show you guys because we've been doing some other stuff, but Greg's over here changing out the radius arm bushings. Doing a great job so far. Yeah, sure. Alright guys, so you're probably wondering why I switched out the wheels, not just the tires, and that's because the original wheels are actually split rim dually wheels, and they're pretty sketchy. Not a lot of people want to change them, so Greg, the guy who's been helping out over here, who comes and helps once in a while, he had these from a different project, and he sold the project, didn't need them anymore, so he donated them, and they had pretty good Yokohama tires on them. So if we have time, I'm going to clean them up, maybe paint them, but if not, I don't really care, as long as they work to get down the road. And yeah, so now we're going to continue working. All right guys, so now I'm going to switch out the spark plugs. I forgot to get these yesterday when I did the wires, so I'm going to switch them out, grab the tool, I'm going to clip you guys in over here. All right guys, so just been working, finishing up everything under the hood. So we put on brand new MSD Pro Billet distributor. That's the ready to run. I got this awesome carburetor, just connected the electric choke, put all the vacuum lines on it. I built my own spark plug wires, changed all of the coolant lines, all of the heater lines, all the belts, all of that, all the vacuum lines, everything's been changed. And I'm pretty sure it's ready to fire, so that's what we're gonna try to do right now. And wish me luck. Should either it does work or it doesn't. Obviously we still need a set timing, but let's give her a go. What you thinking, Kyle?
I don't know. Timing to be off, float levels to be too low.
Sounds like we're gonna wait for Brian to come back in, because this is what he expertises in.
Dusty choke, put him back to get it.
Oh, no way. Wow. Almost exact same size. Well, 2 of those. Let's go get whatever else we need. Alright guys, so I'm not sure if you can see me, but we're going for the first maiden voyage in a Coyote swap 1966 F350 crew cab, and it's going to be really exciting. So once we can actually see, I will pick the camera back up. So, first drive, how you feeling?
It's pretty awesome. It's real awesome. As always, you stress and stress and stress, think about every bolt you did tight and what you did wrong, what could go wrong, and then you start driving it. It's pretty good.
If only the first drive wasn't in the rain though.
I know, right? With the wipers on just full snowstorm mode.
It was such a nice day. Alright guys, just made it over here to the gas station. First drive, no issues whatsoever. Kyle, tell us how you really feel.
I feel pretty good.
I mean, I don't think that smirk on your face is gonna come off for a while.
No, it's pretty worth it.
Dude. So you guys, we were here 4 weeks ago and we were driving this thing as a 2-wheel drive, 6-cylinder. And now it's 4 weeks later and it's a 4-wheel drive V8 Coyote swap. I mean, this is literally, in my opinion, this is the best crew cab out there right now. I'm gonna say it. This is my favorite crew cab, and I own like 4, and this is still my favorite. Wow. We're gonna do a really in-depth video about the truck, talking about everything. Just giving you guys a little bit. But we're definitely gonna be doing a full what the truck with this. And in 2 days, we're driving into Arizona. I'm gonna be driving my truck, but he'll be driving this. And now it's getting fuel. Got anything to tell people? Follow your dreams. Don't listen to Solomon.
Keep on keeping on. Watch Joe Derek and get some inspiration. Yeah,
Nope.
definitely don't listen to Solomon. Hey, you put a coyote in this.
I mean, tell them what you were gonna do.
So here's the problem. I really like this truck. I had a really tough time screwing with it. The 6-cylinder ran really good, so I was gonna leave it a 6-cylinder truck, put a 4x. And then I bought a camp trailer to bring to Arizona so I can bring the whole family with. And I hitched it to the back and went to go pull a 6% grade close to my house, and it didn't do so good. So I was digging through all my carbureted motors going, what am I gonna run? And Solomon in the background's like a little kid with pom-poms, you know? You should do coyote, you should do coyote. Don't do a coyote in 30 days.
Oh, you didn't do it in 30 days. You had less than
Like
30 days.
25-ish maybe. Thank goodness for a lot of good people around to help me through this, but.
Anybody in particular to shout out?
Fat Fender Garage.
Jason,
Yep.
you're the man.
Jason, this is you. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Well, if you guys don't already, you go make sure to follow Kyle. And we're gonna fuel up, we're gonna ride back, and we'll see you there. About time to go get this baby aligned. We're heading over and look at 4x4, and we're gonna have all the fun. You ready for another joyride? All right, boys and girls, so we're pretty much wrapped up under the engine bay. Got a timing set, got everything done. It's looking good, got a fresh battery, did an oil change. Everything in there was nice. The rest of the truck's rocking. And right now, gonna back her out. And Kyle's gotta bring some other stuff in here that he needs to work on for his trailer. Brian's truck is done, looking good. He's just doing a couple bolt checks. Kyle's truck is done. He's also just parked in here for the night. But we're pretty much ready for tomorrow to hit the road. And that's it. That's where we're gonna end this video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. It really helps me out. If you have any questions, comments, drop them down below. Even if you just want to say hi, the comments really help as well. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, just hit that subscribe button. You can press bell notifications. You'll be notified every time I make a new video. And if you want to support the channel, head over to FordEra.com. I got all types of stuff from hats, t-shirts, stickers, everything. Head over there, FordEra.com, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.